What's up? This is your girl Syleena Johnson, the R&B diva, and you know I got soul.
All right, Syleena, so the new album, Chapter 6, Couples Therapy, is coming later this month.
Yep.
Talk about the inspiration behind the album.
The inspiration behind the album for Chapter 6, Couples Therapy is, this time around is my husband and I, our marriage. The fact that we've been married for 7 years, we've been together almost 10 years, and we've held it together through everything, and it's not been easy. And the point of me putting it into couples therapy as the concept was to just kind of drive home the point that even though you go through a lot of stuff, you can still stick together. So and to let people know that therapy is okay. A lot of people think therapy is like for crazy people or something, but therapy is therapeutic. It's actually good. It's a stress reliever. I have a therapist of my own, and we go to couples therapy. So
from listening to the album and listening when you played the tracks in the listening event you had here a few months ago, I feel like this is some of your best work. Like it's a great body of work, and I know you're proud of it. Talk about how proud you are of the work you've done to it.
It took me 2 years to get to this point, to get to that musical place, and you know what? The way that I got there, let me just say this: I just got tired of trying to figure out what to do to fit in with what's going on. I didn't do that anymore. And not that I really did it a lot in the past, but I did care so much about that and wanted to give somebody everything and try to think, well, I know that my lane is R&B music, and I said, I'm gonna get in my lane and just get in it. It's almost like when you go to the store and you get some stretch jeans, right? and you can fit the sixes, but they're tight as hell. You see what I'm saying? But if you just go down a size and get an 8, you're gonna be able to put them on, and you're gonna be so happy. And that's how getting into R&B music was for me. Just really going into that vintage, authentic R&B, soul, whatever you want to call it, sound.
Right. We've got some great collaborations.
Yes.
Some great collaborations on here. Willie Taylor from Day 26, Leela James, and this great song with Dave Hollister called Harmony. Talk about that two true vocalists in together.
Wow,
Awesome
man.
song.
I've been trying to work with Dave Hollister for many years. Our paths just never crossed properly, which is weird because we're both from Chicago. So it was not that hard this time. It was weird. It's just like the stars just lined up. It's the perfect record. He sounds perfect on this record. The timing is amazing. The fact that he has an album coming out too in October as well. We're hoping to try and we're trying to get together a House of Blues tour for the both of us, which would be so amazing. We're both from Chicago, he sounds amazing on the record. David Hollister, I've always wanted to work with him. He's a great guy. Willie is a great friend of mine. Our kids play together. When I lived in Indiana, he still lives there, and I just really wanted people to know how talented he was, and I know how talented he is, like beyond the pop Day 26. He's really a lot more than that as an artist, writer, producer, he's dope. So I wanted to work with him based on that. And Leela is a great friend of mine. She shares the same kind of conflict in the industry that I do. Our voices are very distinct, so it's like a double-edged sword. And we really get each other, and she's a great person. She's an amazing performer, and I'm really blessed to be able to work with her as well because she's so awesome and different.
Awesome. Now, I know from the listening session you had hoped to get R. Kelly on here. I think you even had a song you kind of wanted him on, but unfortunately it didn't work out. Just can you talk about how it ended up coming together?
Well, technically speaking, Robert was the executive producer of Chapter 6 in the beginning, and I had recorded 2 songs that he wrote. And I was on my way working with him, but then the business side came in and we did not see eye to eye, and that is kind of how we grew separate. It's no hard feelings, we don't hate each other, there's no bad blood. It's just he was going in a different direction, and I wanted to go in he wanted one direction, I wanted a different direction, and or not even he wanted one, I wanted one, but just kind of he was going in a different place, I was going in a different place. And we're at the age now, or the not even the age, but the place now in the industry where we've both been in it for such a long time that we're very confident in what it is that we want to do.
Right.
So I just think that this transition, although it was difficult because he's such a great artist and it is a loss, it's a lack, but not too much. I worked with two of the most amazing producers, Pierre Medor and Syleena Johnson, on this record, and it narrowed it down to just those two. So I like to work with less. Less is more. I don't like a whole lot of producers on my records anyway. So I think that everything happens for a reason, and I think by you saying this is my best work yet, that's the proof of the pudding that it didn't really matter that much.
Right, and you could definitely hear it as a cohesive unit that you chose two producers and it just flows so well as a project. So now another song that stood out, If You Need to Know. Can you talk about that one?
If You Need to Know is one of my favorite records. I wrote that record specifically based on what I'm dealing with my husband. Sometimes we get into, when we're in relationships and me and my husband have kids, small kids, 3 and 7, and you just get so much caught up in the routine of the day-to-day routine that you forget to be in love and forget to be romantic, and you don't know, and what I'm saying, you get to arguing and everybody's frustrated and angry, So that record was just to just say, just in case you were wondering, I still love you, I still want you. And the cool thing about that record is I vocal produced, I wrote it, everything by myself, and I just wanted to sing. You know how you have songs where you got to be kind of a certain way, you got to not dummy yourself down, but you got to chill and sit in a pocket on most records. Well, this is a record that I wanted to just sing it all the way into the ground. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to give that vintage old school feel to it as well. So I really love this record. This is one of my favorites.
Great record. Now I know you shot a movie for this album as well. It goes along with it. We haven't seen it yet, but can you tell us a little bit of what it's about?
The movie is about is the exact same concept as the album, and the movie will take you through the visual part of what the album is saying. And it's kind of like Purple Rain meets Black Nativity. It's a full movie, 90 minutes with dialogue, script, and everything. It's not like Trapped in the Closet at all. It's not a musical. Trapped in the Closet is like a musical, which is cool and brilliant. But it's a movie with I'm trying to pause because y'all always got cats and trees. It's always a cat in a tree somewhere in New York. So, but it's a full movie, and I just got tired of the whole do a single, make a video, do a single, and I think the public gets tired of that too. You know what I'm saying? And specifically because television doesn't really have video anymore like it used to. Have like the BET Soul and the countdowns and this, that, and third. They don't really have that as much anymore. So, and then when they do have it so early in the morning that the kids are in school, so no one sees it. You'd have to go to like Comcast or like Music Choice, or you'd have to really go to stuff to see videos, which back in the day were more accessible. MTV, BET, VH1. So I just think that because television is changing, social media is changing, we have to change. We have to evolve as well. So I wanted to do something that I hadn't done before. Being
on R&B Divas and having that reality TV exposure, it's giving you a new type of promotional tool, but has it really made you approach how you create your music any differently at all?
No, it hasn't changed the creative process, circumstance. What it has done is just create a bigger platform for the music. That's about it. And has brought awareness to the Syleena Johnson brand.
Right.
Which is awesome.
And just last question for you, just hypothetically speaking, had you hadn't done the show, maybe decided against being a part of it, do you ever think of where your music career would be if it would have taken a different path? Or maybe it wouldn't have taken a different path? I probably would be still working, struggling hard, because I think that reality TV has become almost like the new record deal. You know what I'm saying? The visual was the one thing that I really lacked all the way from the beginning of starting, when I was signed with Jive Records. And before then, the visual is what I lacked. People seeing me. I never did many Tonight shows or
just basically videos is where you only saw me. I was never on any award shows. So to be able to have R&B Divas was such a huge blessing for the brand, because it showed me visually, and not only visually, showed my personality. You know, my fans were able to connect to me in a much bigger way.
Right.
So I'm very grateful for that platform, and I'll use that. You know, I'll be glad to be utilize that platform as long as they would have me. You know, and I think that it's great that it was even thought of. I think Nikki Gilbert, who was the co-creator of the show, she's actually the full creator. She actually had the idea herself, and then she added other people in. But I think that it was a great idea because, you know, at that point we all had a pure want and need for the music. That's what it was. Now, later on it got tainted by different things and business and politics, but still for me, it's about the music. I did the politics part. I already did that. So I don't really care about any of that. What I care about is getting my music out there.
Right.
To
Awesome.
the fans.
Beautiful. So that's all we have for you. Anything you'd like to add?
No, just to go to SylenaMusic.com to get all of my social media outlets and to follow me and for all things Syleena Johnson. So, and my book is coming out. The Wait Is Over. That's coming soon. Mama's Got Soul is coming top of the year. I might even do a Christmas EP now because I got to tell you something about that. I was approached with some idea about that. So I might actually have to do it. So be on the lookout for that. Not an album, but like an EP. So.